So, this video is going to be about Dave Chappelle's special. So, I came across this video on YouTube. Apparently, Dave Chappelle is doing a special on, I guess, it's criticizing social justice warriors, criticizing the whole social justice warrior movement, etc., etc. And I've posted my response to a lot of these comments on this video, and I'm gonna keep it real, okay? I don't know why somebody like Dave Chappelle would be doing a show like this, considering, does Dave Chappelle know his own history of blacks? Blacks are the original social justice warriors, guys. I mean, a social justice warrior is essentially a negative way of saying civil rights, because it's pretty much civil rights for everybody else who didn't get their civil rights over the last 20 years. I mean, blacks in 2019, they got where they are as a result of just race baiting, using the race card, constantly criticizing. All right, I mean, if you guys been around for the last 20 years, you've heard all this race baiting. Some of it is valid, some of it isn't. All right, I'm not a real political person. I'm not racial. I don't do politics as much as I do things the way, not the way I see it, but the way I keep it real. All right, what I see, I'm gonna criticize if it needs to be criticized, and this is one of those things where I'm gonna go, what the F? How is Dave Chappelle gonna do a video of this when all these black entertainers that you see in the media today, they're there as a result of social justice warring for the black agenda. All right, the NAACP, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, the NAACP Image Awards, celebrities constantly criticizing Hollywood about there not being enough black people there, why are they constantly just casting light-skinned people? Why are they constantly casting just women, hot women, and then pairing them up with white dudes? Why aren't they putting up enough strong black men? Why aren't corporations? Why don't corporations have enough black people? Blah 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 blah. Over and over again. Race baiting, social justice warrioring, civil rights. 20 years of that. All right, that's where you got yours over the last 20 years. So you got yours, over the last 20 years of being the biggest social justice warriors. For the last 20 years. Now you're gonna criticize other groups. You're going to criticize other groups for doing the same thing, using the same tactics that you use over the 20 years to get where you are. Man, even Obama was elected because of social justice warrioring. I mean, it was just blacks saying we need a first black president, vote for your own race, and constantly just getting on the other candidates because of their skin color, because they were white. All right, over and over again, every single excuse is a race card excuse. Every single thing is a race baiting thing. Now, I'm not gonna say that all of that is non-valid, because there are valid situations where they have a valid reason for doing that. But my argument is, why the hell is somebody like Dave Chappelle, a black person, putting out a special pretty much criticizing every single thing being non-PC, when you guys were and still are the original instigators of PCism? All right, because all these directors, producers, studio heads, they pretty much bow to PCism black PCism because you actually asked them to the point where they don't even depict black people as drug dealers, gangbangers, ghetto people. They don't even depict black people with negative stereotypes. If they do stereotypes, they do positive stereotypes or neutral stereotypes with black people. With other races, these people don't have a problem with constantly using negative stereotypes on Latino Americans, Asian Americans, sometimes Arab Americans, etc., because they don't get the flack from it. All right, it's not a moral dilemma to them as it is, a dilemma of consequences. All right, and this is okay. So black people have pretty much used the race card, social justice warrioring to get the media in, and when I say media, I mean the media and society, because the media actually brainwashes society to act the way they act. So they're conditioning society to not be negative at all towards black people, regardless of what the situation is, because there are circumstances, consequences to it. Same with what the Jews have done with their anti-Semite card, over and over and over again, so that you guys are kind of a protective race right now because of social justice warrioring, because of civil rights for the black agenda, because of all this that pretty much put you in the position that you are, that pretty much gave you advantages over other groups, because you guys bitched about racial issues over and over and over and over and over and over again. All right, and my personal thought is, I'm reading all these comments. And these comments are pretty damn stupid, all right, from all these people. And a lot of these people are black. They're like, they'll take the dark comedy, the world will become softer. Like, you guys made it that way. You guys made it. This dude saying, so folks cool with black jokes. Like, when was the last time you saw a black joke that was really negative and not gay jokes? I'm not gay, by the way, but seriously, come on, seriously. Okay, you guys get portrayed as you guys don't, when they portray black people these days, they're family people, they're lawyers, doctors, CEOs, people who got money, model minority. That's how they portray you guys in Hollywood. That's what I've seen on TV recently, the last couple years, hell, I'm talking about maybe like the last decade, all right? You guys are essentially the model minority on TV and the movies. In real life, no. All right? And I'm not even being racial about this. I'm just being real about this. And you guys have a problem with it. Yo, that's your problem, because you guys are not keeping it real. You guys are not keeping it real. All right? I don't think you guys are a model minority in real life. Not that I care about that, but they're not even trying to be true to real life. These TV studios, these movie studios, they don't even care about real life. They'll be wishy-washy on, swapping out on oh, you know what? Making these excuses like, it's supposed to depict real life when they need to make that excuse, or it's just the movies. It's not supposed to depict real life, depending on how they're going to use that excuse. But the truth of the matter is, all right, there's no reason for Dave Chappelle or any black person to actually do any kind of special like this, or any of these idiots commenting, telling how, Dave Chappelle is keeping it real, setting it how it is. You guys have the race card to protect you whenever somebody has or could say something negative about you. You guys just call them racist. All right, same thing with the Jews, or what the Jews do. They just go and say, well, you're an anti-Semite for anything whatsoever. All right, wrong. Okay, if you guys have that ability to do that, you guys should not be making these kind of special. Dave Chappelle, don't do these kinds of special. Okay. I don't have a political agenda with, Antifa, or being a social justice warrior, or being, politically incorrect or correct depending on situations. I'm just being as I'm looking at things as unbiased as I can, and making reasonable, having a reasonable debate about stuff like this. Okay, all you guys constantly, over and over again, like these comments about how, you guys are cheering him for being politically incorrect. You guys are the original champions of the PC culture. All right, like guys, you guys need to just go and know your own history about this stuff. All right, because I think you guys forget things really fast. All right, I mean, I've mentioned in posts before where I'm like, do you guys know your own history about how you guys got to where you are? Do you guys know how the NAACP Image Awards, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, all those guys are pretty much the foundation for where you guys are at this point. So if they're like the foundation for where you are at this point, and they're the original champions of social justice warrioring, civil rights, stuff like that, bitching about race at every whim, and you're gonna make a show about this, criticizing other groups for wanting the same thing you have, going and using the same tactics that you used over the last 20 years to get where you are, to have like a black president in office. Come on guys, seriously, think about that. But you guys have a comment, leave your comment or whatever. I really don't care if it's positive or negative. I'm just trying to be as real as I can about this, in a world where people are now, you guys don't care, whether you're being real or not. It's just a racial issue to you guys. As long as you guys can make it a racial issue, you guys are deciding that, making decisions on what you guys think is right or wrong, just based on a racial issue. It's wrong, guys. This country. This country has pretty much gone downhill over the 20 years because of this garbage. Pretty much.